Hi guys, Ukeje again. Now, in our previous episodes, we spent time trying to expound on the provisions of the law, the Land Use Act Decree of 1978. Specifically, our last episode, we are talking about how to avoid government claiming your land, or some of the factors that could make government actually come and claim your land. I know while trying to expound on that particular provision of the law, we talked about inheritance, the provision for inheritance of a land from a deceased owner. Now, that specifically is what we are going to, be talking about today. It's going to be giving us light into something really controversial. I bet you this topic today is going to blow your mind. Did you know that as at today, based on the Supreme Court ruling, the apex court in Nigeria, that a female child can actually inherit her father's land upon his death? Let me rephrase. Did you know that a girl child can actually inherit her father's land upon her father's death? Now, let me give you a little background story. So there was a court case in 2004, between the Ukejes. The Ukeje were a family, of a certain deceased person who died in 1981, and upon the death of the father, going by the customary law, the immediate family of this deceased man, of course, the boys, came together and they decided to share the father's property. But there was an issue, because their sister, a certain Gladys Ukeje, who felt she was being, disinherited by the particular act, now came up and said, I'll sue them, as at 2004, for her siblings, male siblings, to allow her into or gain entitlements, to their father's, some of their father's property or estate. Now, this led to a series of court cases. She won at the high court level. The siblings and their wives, took up that particular court case to the appeal. They appealed that ruling, that high court ruling. And funny enough, the high court upheld the ruling. They went to Supreme Court, the apex court in the country, and voila, from a judgment by a certain Judge Vivo, he upheld that particular ruling. He ruled on it based on the fact that this particular law, the customary law, infringes on the fundamental human rights of every citizen in Nigeria. So every citizen in Nigeria is entitled to ownership of a land, and in such cases, in this particular case now, there should not be any reason to disenfranchise a particular child based on whatever reason, whether sex, gender, or whatever inclination you believe in. So this particular law, based on the fundamental human rights of every Nigerian citizen, that's old customary law, patriarchal, based on the patriarchal, traditions that females are not supposed to inherit their father's land. This particular law of fundamental human rights, cancelled that particular customary law. Now, from that day onwards, this court ruling has now been, has gone ahead to be referenced by every other, person. There are cases of, female children of a deceased, father coming up and then suing the siblings to, give them access to partake in the sharing of their deceased father's property, and they're winning. You understand? Now, I need us to put the context to this particular thing, because it's quite sensitive. Now, there are several reactions from this particular court case, and we need to discuss it further. Now, I need to make a disclaimer. This is not my opinion, guys. This is not my opinion. This is just what is out there and what people actually say. So it is my duty to actually bring it to the fore for everybody to actually see, and then share their thoughts too. My duty is just to bring it out for everybody to see. Now, some people are actually saying that the Igbo traditional system is too patriarchal and is unfair to the female gender, with respect to the issue of inheritance and all. Now, permit me to say this. I'm an Igbo man, personally, and I have some ideas about inheritance and all. It is true that the Igbo people do not include a female child in, a parent's, property and all, but a little injunction here. The female child is not included in, sharing of ancestral land. and is a little bit different from cases where you have maybe built up a real estate, something's guided by the will. I'm going to expand on that particular thing a little bit. You see, in some cases when women marry, they actually do what they call, you're more like sending them off. You understand? Iduwani, that's what they call it, Iduwani. So you buy a whole lot of things for her, and then you more like settle her to start up a new life, a new family. Some of those things, although it's been bastardized over the years, the male child do not get that kind of privilege. That is not to say that that is equivalent to owning land or other property in the father's house. I'm just giving you a context to the kind of treatment the Igbos give to a female child. That aside, a family with, if a wealthy family can actually and wealthy and affluent can actually come and then give out properties to their female children who are unmarried, who did not marry, or who are divorced, to manage over time to take care of themselves. You understand? It's dependent on the family, the father of the house or the mother. You understand? They can actually buy properties and say, okay, if I'm buying this property in the name of my daughter, in the name of my son, or whatever. You understand? They can actually do those things and then protect it by will and say, okay, this my daughter, I'm willing this property to her. You understand? So peradventure, I'm not here tomorrow, this property belongs to her. So people do that on individual level, customarily and traditionally. And what is done for the female child is there is a place. There's always a place for her in the father's house. And also, in cases where the father has some wealth, something is actually given to the lady to take care of herself. So that's that. I need to point out something again at this particular juncture, that the judgments upheld or ruled by the apex courts, the Supreme Court on the Ukejes, is quite interesting in such a way that because it's the first time it is happening, there are so many lacunas, loopholes in that particular law. I don't think so many things are actually taken into consideration on that, because it's still open for debate. So if you have a case like this tomorrow, it could still not favor the female child, as if you want to reference the Ukeje's case. This is what I actually think. Now, in the Ukeje's case, what makes it interesting is that this deceased father, who died in 1981, did not will any of these real estates in question. So this, ordinarily, if you take a listen to our previous episode where we are talking about the Land Use Act Decree of 1978 provision on inherited land, we said, according to that law, that for inherited land that are not will, they are subject to customary law of the deceased person. That is to say, if Mr. Ukeje is from a certain community and that particular real estate was not subject to will, he did not will it, he is not subject to a non-customary law, that real estate should be subjected to the customary law of Mr. Ukeje, the late Mr. Ukeje. That ordinarily is what should have been obtainable. But because the law is like a two-edged sword, you understand, you can twist it and see a different meaning. You can actually look at it from different perspectives, and then it will still make sense. That was why the fundamental human rights of every citizen in Nigeria was used to rule against that particular. The fundamental human rights of Nigeria dims the light of customary law in this particular case. Now, when you pass it through through the fundamental human rights, it seems like a real discrimination against a female child, and that is actually what it is. You understand? So, in as much as the ruling was made open, but there's still context. We still have some people that will come up tomorrow and they sue their family members for not including them in sharing ancestral land. So that one is open. So people have been talking, but the truth is, since it's something that is actually challenging a long age custom, tradition of the people, is going to take quite some time for it to settle in, if at all it does settle in. But one thing is sure, that is going to cause a whole lot of uproar. It's going to cause a whole lot of issues in families and all, especially in enlightened families. That is just the fact. If you by chance have any family where the parents did not try to put things together before they die, it is going to be chaos. It's going to be chaotic. You understand? So this is just to bring up this knowledge to everybody. The Ukeje's case is just one out of a few. the first actually, but then we've had series of other court cases coming up that have actually been ruled on, referencing the Ukeje's case. You understand? Just like I said, it is not a guarantee that any female child can, sue the family and then want, to partake in, sharing of the father's, property, and it will be granted. No, like I said, the Ukeje's case is an open case, and open in the sense that it has lacunas, openings, you understand, for open for debates. So you just need a good lawyer any day, anytime, to tweak the meaning or interpretations of the law to suit you, you understand, or be against the other person. So that's just that I just needed to bring to our notice that as of today, by law, based on the judgments of Justice Vivo in 2005, upheld or made a ruling on the case between the Ukeje's family, that a female child in Nigeria, in Igbo land, can now partake in the sharing of her late father's property, whether or not that land is ancestral. For all those who are going to be in battles, to want to go and reclaim land and all, get your good lawyer, you understand, and at the end of the day, it's still open. And then just be peaceful. And to you who is a parent, gathering property, ensure you put all these things into consideration, so that when the eventual things of life happen, or uneventual things of life happen, you don't leave your family in a state of chaos. Try and put things in order, as you go in life. So that's just what I have for us today. So from this video and what we've all said here today, I hope I've been able to enlighten you and not to confuse you, about inheritance as regards the 1978 Land Use Act decree, people's reaction to this, and how it has actually banned so far with regards to uprooting or challenging an age-long tradition in the Igbo culture. Feel free to ask me your questions, react to this video. I really want to know what you think about this. What is happening in your area? Do you think this is the right thing or the wrong thing? Of course, the law does not look at something that is right or wrong. Just present your facts and then you win an argument. So just let me know what you feel. Share your thoughts with me and I'll be glad to follow you up. Do well to like, share, subscribe, share to somebody who you feel needs this particular knowledge and information here. Thank you and see you next time.